friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well, and I'm so excited for today's video because today we're doing something a little different again. As you could probably tell from the title and thumbnail, today we're doing another what sold from video where I break down a past thrift haul and then I go through each piece that I hauled. I look at what actually sold from that thrift haul, how much those pieces sold for, how many of the pieces I've sold, if they were worth picking up, what things have not sold, and it's a really exciting time. It's a really exciting kind of video to film and really fun to dive into all of that information. And so today I picked for you guys a really good haul. Today's video that we're analyzing was the very second episode of my $1 thrift challenge series. Now, if you have not seen any of that series, highly recommend. That was so much fun to film. I'm contemplating starting up something very similar here in the near future. But I'll link that playlist up above in a card. But if you haven't seen that series, I took one single dollar and then I used that dollar to eventually make thousands of dollars of profit. So I bought one item, resold it, used that profit to buy more items, resold those items, and kept on doing that over and over again until I ended up with a couple $1,000s, which is really exciting. But this was episode 2, so I didn't have very much cash, and this episode actually took place in Salem, Oregon. I went to the bins while I was in Oregon with my cousin Linnea. She was there for her sister's wedding, my cousin's wedding, but I had to accompany her. She has Asperger's, and so she and I had a girls trip across the country, and I ended up going to the bins one day while she was hanging out with her family. In this video, for me to resell, I picked up 10 items. I also picked up a bin of items that I bought at that outlet specifically to take straight to Plato's Closet. So in total, the money that I spent that was not accounted for from flipping things right away at Plato's Closet was $12. So I paid $12 out of pocket for the 10 items we're going to talk about today that I brought home in my suitcase to resell. So $12, 10 items, right about $1 a piece, which is a great amount to pay per item. I think that's wonderful. And so we have 10 items to talk about, and I want you guys to leave a guess down below before we get started how much you guys think I made from those 10 items in sales. How much do you think I sold those 10 items for? I'm not going to tell you how many of them sold, but leave that in the comments down below before we start, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised on how well we did. So I also pulled clips from that video so you guys can see what things look like while I was showing them to you in the video. And I am going to give you the lowdown of what has sold and what hasn't. So let's start with the first piece, which is this Lulu's dress. It was actually, I had to film this video right away because I listed these items as quickly as I could, and this one sold before the video actually went live. So it sold before I even filmed, and so I filmed right away, and this piece was a New At Tags Lulu's dress, and it sold for $45. Now, Lulu's does pretty well for me on the whole. Like, I usually can sell it for a pretty good amount, and so this was a great pickup, and for finding it in the bins for around $1, that was awesome. And so I made $45 on that sale. And then from that $45, we made $36 after Poshmark took its fees. I think every single one of these pieces sold on Poshmark that I'm going to talk about. Then the next piece is something that took a little bit longer to sell. And I kind of was expecting this to sell in a bundle with a few other pieces because I found 3 different Anthropologie pieces at the same trip that were all in the same size from Anthropologie. They are all plus size Anthropologie pieces, really cool and really cute pieces. And this one took longer to sell. It was this really cute kind of like tiger print blouse, and honestly it was my personal favorite. I thought it was the cutest of the 3, and I listed all 3 of them around $50. This piece sold for $35. So this is a top that in the video I said that I was going to list it around $40 to $50. That was my comp price, and usually from when I say a comp price in a video, that's what I hope to list things at, and then sometimes afterward I'll tell you what I hope or expect to make from the piece. So this piece I was expecting to sell around $40 to $50, and I sold it for $35. So it's about $5 off, but you know what? I'm still happy with that, so we'll take that. And then the next thing from the video was part of a 2-piece. These are the other 2 Anthropologie pieces. They both sold in a bundle after I filmed the video, but before the video came out for you guys to watch. So that was a very fast sale. Both the Lulu's dress and these 2 Anthropologie plus size pieces sold within the first day or 2 of having them listed, and they went like that. So both of them were really cute. The red one, I believe, yes, I listed it at $50, and the yellow one I listed at $65, which honestly, looking back, I'm like, wow, I was kind of reaching for the stars, but it worked out. Somebody bundled them and bought the two of them together for $100. So both of them I sold for $50 each. And in the video, I mean, I think I gave the comp price as being about $50 for both. So that worked out really well. I was right on with my guess. If I was selling those right now, the market is so different. I feel like right now, when these sold in November, I think that they probably wouldn't have gone for as much right now, which is kind of sad, honestly. And that's important to note too. This video came out in November of 2021. So just a little bit, we're in July. So about 8 months ago. That's crazy. So in 8 months, I've sold quite a few of these pieces. I only had 10 items to start with, but we're doing well so far. We sold two of those items together for $100, sold another one for $35, another one for $45. So we're doing pretty good. I'm happy with that. This next piece that we had in the video was a pair of slippers. And whenever I see this kind of more like thick and chunky wool, I usually at least look up the brand. And I'm glad that I did. This is something that's really similar to like a Halflinger slipper. If I find those, I pick those up because they have a good resale value. These were from the brand Geeswine. And they were women's size 11 or men's size 9, I believe. And I, in the video, gave a comp price for these of expecting to probably sell around $50, $50 to maybe $65. At the end of the day, I sold them for $42, which again, I paid $1 for those. So that was a great sale and pretty close for $50 to $65. I was only $8 off of my expected range. So that is pretty okay in my book. And that was a great find. Again, that was only $1. Very hard to get home. I only had a carry-on in my backpack, and it was a rough trip, and I definitely broke my suitcase on this video, but you know what? I can buy another suitcase with all the profit I made, you know? So that was good. The next thing, the last pair of shoes, I could not bring very many shoes with me, but this pair of Birkenstocks. I love finding Birkenstocks in the bins. I remember being shocked that they were still there because I came in at the end of a flip and all of these shoes were just like sitting there. No one was going through them, and that pair of Birkenstocks was just chilling in there, and I always sell those. So I found this pair of Birkenstocks. They were the Mayari, I believe, style, a black leather. I said that I was expecting to sell them between $40 and $50 in the video, and I ended up selling them for $40, which is pretty good. Now, these took a little bit longer to sell, though. They sat for a little bit. Of course, I did buy them in the middle of winter, which was probably why they sat for so long, but they sold in March. So this video went live in the end of November, and then I sold these on March 2nd. So right as we were coming back into spring, they sold. So that's important to note, I think, too, for Birkenstocks or sandals in general. They really, unless you have somebody that's living in a warm weather climate like year round, it's going to take a little bit longer for something like that probably to sell. And the same thing with this next one. Now, this one took a while to sell too, but this is an interesting sale. It was this green waffle knit Free People, kind of swing top. And this is a piece that I picked up to take to Pluto's Closet. So of the 13 pieces that I took to Pluto's Closet, they bought 10 of them. One of them I left. I had no idea what to do with it. I could not fit it in my suitcase. And then I took 2 items back with me in my suitcase because they were both tank tops and I could fit them. Now, this is one of those pieces that I did not intend to sell myself, but I ended up having to bring home because they didn't take it at Pluto's Closet. So this is something, it waited until January to sell, so 2 or 3 months to sell, and it only sold for $15. And I expected it to sell, I listed it at $25. So I was hoping to make at least like $20 off of it, but $15, I was happy to make that eventually, especially after I saw that there was like a little pinhole by the tag, when the tag just pulls a little bit. It got a little bit of a hole. Wasn't a big deal, but I still sold it for $15 and made $12 from that. So I'll take it. That was okay with me. And now we're going into the thing that did not sell from that video. And I am happy to announce that this is the only item that has not sold. So of the 10 items that I picked up to resell myself, 9 of them have already sold, which is amazing. Now, the crazy part about this is this piece is this is the second piece that I took to Pluto's Closet and they did not take, and I just ended up having to bring home. That is the only piece that hasn't sold. So everything that I chose to sell myself has sold, including that other tank top that I wasn't going to sell. And so the only piece that I had tried to get rid of that same day that they didn't take is the only one that hasn't sold yet. So That's pretty good. It is this Nordstrom tank top. It's really cute. It has a ruffle on just one side of the neckline. It's a really cute concept. It's a really cute color scheme. But it is by the brand Halogen. And I did not realize until I was doing research for this video that I still have it listed, but I have it listed under Halogen and with the brand being called Halogen, even though Halogen is a Nordstrom brand. Now, people are not normally searching for Halogen, they're searching for Nordstrom. So I changed those things today. I changed the title and the brand. So honestly, it could probably sell now that I've changed those things and relisted it. So I'm interested to see if that does make a difference, but that is the only thing that hasn't sold. And I only have it listed at $15. So once that sells, hopefully I will make $12. But even if it doesn't sell, that's only one item. And I could always just take it to Plato's Closet or Uptown Cheapskate here in Maryland, and I feel like they would probably take it here. Now, the next item did sell, and I believe that this sold quickly. I believe that this sold within a month, and it was this really cute pair of patchwork cabbie jeans. And cabbie is something that I usually only pick up in the bins, and I haven't really seen a ton of movement with it, but I just sold today a cabbie blouse outright for I think $25 or $35 that I got in the bins. And then this pair of jeans in the bins. I think you just need, if you're gonna pick up that brand, to pick up things that are more unique from them. Like this pair of really cute patchwork denim. These were adorable. They had so much intricate detail, lots of different colors. It was a really cute find, and I'm happy I grabbed it. And this sold for $30. So from that $30, I believe that we made, I think, $22.50. Yes, $22.50. So we paid $1, we made about $23. I'll call that a win for sure. And then the last piece, we have accounted for all of the 10 items. Other than this one was a miss on my part. This one took a long time to sell, and I think it's because I did not list it high enough. I did not realize how nice this bag was until I went to send it out. And I kind of like, slapped myself a little bit because it was a really nice bag. I think if I would have given measurements or if I would have remembered it more, I would have charged more for it. But it was this beautiful Coach tote bag, and this thing was large. Like, I thought it was smaller. I must have just forgotten how big it was. I don't even know how I lost it. But I think I had this listed at $50 or $65. And this tote bag I probably could have or should have sold for around $100. But I had it listed at $65 and it sat until May 26th. So it only sold like a month or two ago. And it sold for $37, which was an amazing deal for the person that bought it. I believe she's a viewer, so I'm happy that it went to somebody. I only paid $1 for it. That's great. But I think it sat because I priced it too low for how nice this bag was. Whew. It was a really good bag. It was large and it had lots of interior pockets. But you know what? I could be wrong. Maybe that's not why it's sad. Who knows? But I made a $37 sale on that piece. So from that we made $29.60. So not too bad. So then when I look at all of the information, would I pick up those same items again? I would totally pick them up again. The only things I would pass on were the things that I would have just taken straight to buy, sell, trade, which was that Halogen tank top. And I think I probably still would have picked up the We The Free green swing tank top as well. But I have been passing out a lot more Free People and We The Free lately just because it has been sitting longer. So I'm not sure about that tank top. Everything else, I'm really happy with how fast it went, and except for the Coach bag, but I feel like I could have done some things differently on my end to have made that a better sale. But in the end, we made $344 in total sales. And the only thing that hasn't sold is that $15 tank top. And then our gross profit, so after we take out all the fees that Poshmark charged for all those pieces that I sold, we made $271.98. And so then after my cost of goods, which was $12, our net profit was $259.98. So I made about $260 from that. I think I was in the thrift store for maybe an hour or two. So $260 while I was on, not really vacation because I was kind of there as a guardian, as a travel buddy for my cousin. I think that was really good. I had so much fun going and being able to thrift. And I think that turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. It definitely is a little different from the last video in this series where I spent $171. And then I made, I feel like, what was it? Like $600, $800? It was something crazy. But I really liked that this shows too that you don't have to spend very much. You can spend $12 to make $300. I think that that is that's much more viable for people that are just getting started in reselling. And that's what my advice always is too, if you want to do this as a part-time thing or just for fun maybe, or you just want to give it a try one time. I highly suggest going to the Goodwill outlet, aka the bins first, where you can get that low cost of goods. You start with what you have, start in your own closet, then migrate to the bins where you can spend something like $10 and get a feel for reselling, try reselling a few items like this, and then spend more money. I would not start off spending $200 on a haul when you don't know what you're doing, you know? Definitely start with a low cost of goods, and even from that low cost of goods, you can make a couple $100, which is amazing. It's a great part-time hustle. It's a great full-time job. I love it. So I think that that was a fun haul, and I'm glad that we did make some good money from it. If you guys enjoy these sorts of what sold from videos, then make sure you guys let me know in the comments down below, because I really enjoy looking back at past hauls and seeing what works and what didn't. I would love to do a haul that really kind of flopped. That would be fun to look back at and say, wow, I did a bad job of picking items, to help you guys kind of avoid picking those sorts of items. But if you guys are interested in these sorts of videos at all, let me know, because I would love to keep making them. So if you guys are not already subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button. If you do enjoy hanging out with me here on my channel, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't watched the other videos in that $1 thrift challenge, definitely check it out. That is my favorite series that I've done on my YouTube. It is so much fun and just really like kind of like a game show. It's a very interesting vibe, and I really do suggest it. So I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and until the next video, bye.